Well, ladies and gents, this isn't a video I was expecting to be making just even a few weeks ago. However, in the manner that we have lost these last two games, I thought it was only necessary to make such a video because there are people, me included, calling for the sacking of the manager, Grant McCann. Now, today I'm just going to balance the argument a little bit. Is there an argument? Is the argument for him being sacked actually plausible? Or is it just a load of old waffle and we're overreacting? To answer that question, it's a bit of both. Thanks for watching. Good. Nah, I'm only kidding. So it's tough with McCann. It's tough. As I say, in this video, I'm just going to sort of balance each side. And we're going to start by looking at his transfer policy. Now, I understand a lot of that may be done by Lee Darnborough. And we're going to start by looking at his transfer policy last season. Now, I'm pretty sure you know what this consists of. League One level, players who he's worked with before. That's the sort of players we were looking at. Who did we bring in then? Just from the top of my head, we brought in Ryan Tafazoli. What was he like? Taffa, before he left to Wickham in the summer, was decent. Brought in... I'm trying to run through the squad numbers last year. Hold on a minute. Why Joe, you numpty, are you not just doing this? He brought in Tom Eaves. So he's fluctuating. If the line is here, Eaves is fluctuating around that. There was Eaves, Matt Ingram. He was actually a championship player, one of few. George Honeyman, Josh Bowler, Matthew Pennington, Callum Elder, Josh McGuinness, Leo da Silva Lopez, Herbie Kane, Martin Samuelson, Malik Wilkes, James Scott, and let's not forget Marcus Maddison. Let's start with Maddison then. Brought in on deadline day to replace Jared Bowen or Kamil Grzycki. He was actually brought in while Bowen was still contracted to Hull City. Probably never met Jared though, because he was in London all day. But with Maddison, we expected so much more. And he gave us so little. There was murmurings of him going out and getting drunk before the game. He was always too focused on his social media, things like that. And he got a lot of stick. But when he has the attitude that he had, he was a diva. It brings a negative atmosphere. And to only amplify that, he was a player who had, one, done so well in League One, and two, a player that the manager trusted. A player that Grant McCann trusted would come in and do a job for us. That didn't happen. Matt Ingram didn't feature much, but this season he's been on top of his game. George Honeyman featured a lot, but was very, very average. But this season, after the lockdown, he upped his game. Josh Bowler, if his decision-making was better, he would have been one of the best players in the Championship. I would not have minded if we'd have got Josh Bowler on loan again. He was pretty decent for us, was Josh Bowler. Just again, his decision-making. Middlesbrough game last season at the Riverside, sticks out Lewis Potter's free at the back post, but he decided to carry it. Why? I'm forgetting someone else, so I've got to look at this again. Matthew Pennington. Penno was decent. It's just a right back when it wasn't his proper position. It worked sometimes, but after lockdown, definitely didn't. Elder was good last year. I feel he's taken a bit of a step back this season, though. McGuinness and Eves, they're just so inconsistent. But McGuinness has been better than Eves has this year. De Silva was brilliant, but didn't want to be here at the end of last season. After our 8-0 defeat, shaking hands and laughing with his old teammates on the pitch. That's disgusting. And it was at that point that the fan base turned on him. He was loved before that. But in that game, he gave no effort. And to be fair, he was up there with a lot of the players that gave him no effort. George Honeyman and Keane Lewis-Potter were the only players who cared after that. Harry Kane, didn't really get to see much of him. He was average before the lockdown. After the lockdown, came in, looked better, then got injured instantly. Never saw him in a Hull City shirt again. Now at Barnsley. Martin Samuelson, limited opportunities. It was brilliant. Again this season, limited opportunities. Brilliant. Malik Wilkes came in, wasn't exactly what we needed to replace Jarrod Bowen, but he showed that sign of cutting in on the left and things like that. And this season he's been pretty decent as well. James Scott came in, got injured in his first training session, but scored against Birmingham, didn't score after that. He had some poor games this season. He's been good when he's played. But moving on to this season. Louis Coyle brought in. Very good signing. Richie Smallwood brought in. Very good signing. Josh Emmanuel brought in. Bargain of the season. Alfie Jones brought in. Good signing. Hakiba Delican brought in. Good signing. Regan Slater brought in. Another good signing. Thomas Mayer brought in. Another good utility player. Good signing. Greg Doherty brought in. Another good signing. And so McCann's transfer business hasn't been bad. On the face of it, it hasn't been bad. Maddison we expected more from, but we didn't get it. We expected more from him, didn't get it. And maybe towards the end of last season we expected more from James Scott as well. But it's that ankle. It's that ankle. Results then. No, cut that. Results then. What do we think? So obviously last season we started well. We were fighting for the playoffs at the turn of the year. It was going good. Then we're up here. We're in 7th, 8th place sort of area, fighting for the playoffs. Players came in January and said playoffs were the aim because we were up there. Then we lose Bowen. Sink right back down. Our last clean sheet last season, between us losing at Cardiff at the end of the season and getting relegated, and the turn of the year, we had one league clean sheet. That came on New Year's Day. George Long, that was his last clean sheet before he played against Fleetwood in the FA Cup for us this season. It was something like a possible, I think it was 1 win in 20 towards the end of last season. So yeah, it wouldn't have been great. And I'm firmly of the belief, even with Jarrod Bowen, we would have gone down. As hard as that is to think of for some of you fans at home, that was the reality. No matter what, if we had Bowen, we went down. Now then, this season, brilliant. The games that we've lost are glaring losses. Fleetwood, 4-1. Peterborough, 2-1. Yes, that was an even game and it could have gone either way. But then Swindon 2-1, Shrewsbury 1-0, Blackpool 3-2. You can pick something out of every single game. That Fleetwood game, that was the turning point. That was our first of the season. That was a turning point for Jordi de Wijs. Captain last season, had it taken off him this season because of the signing of Richie Smallwood. De Wijs, so Elder at left back, been told to push up, I imagine, because he was just going about all over the place down the left hand side, leaving Harvey Saunders exposed. Leaving Harvey Saunders with loads of space to run into. Then Jordi de Wijs, left-hand sided centre-back, rushes out like an absolute madman, leaving that entire left side exposed, and Harvey Saunders on the right wing for Fleetwood can just run in and score. That's as simple as it got. Peterborough. It shows what we need. Johnson Clark-Harris, a goal scorer. One chance he had in that game. And that one chance he scored. Shows what we're missing, doesn't it? And how we've not been clinical enough this season. We've been holding on to games. Wimbledon's a notable one. Swindon, just a bloody embarrassment. Elder was questionable for that again. Even the Peterborough game, Elder was getting mugged down the left-hand side. And I've said it many times, for me, Brandon Fleming is first choice left-back. Then the Shrewsbury game simply wasn't good enough. Had no opportunities, couldn't create anything. Defensively, we looked absolutely on the ropes. We deserve to lose. Then 3 days later, we head to Blackpool. Need I say more? Oh my word. To be fair, we dominated. But again, it's that chance taking, and when Louis Coyle at right back is playing rugby in midfield, and all three of their goals come from counter-attacks. The third in the 93rd minute after we've scored in the 89th. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. So in terms of results then, it's been balanced. But do I think that it's a bit of an overreaction even from my side? If you watch my match reaction, you'll know that I was fuming. Lost 2 games. We're still top of the league. But if this continues, we are going to plummet. This league is so tight. At time of recording, if I put the league table up, just here for you. Look how tight that is. That is so incredibly tight. That a couple of bad a bad run, a couple of draws, send you plummeting. Last season wasn't good enough. We know that. But this season, we started off well. But this is where we look at McCann's tactical system. Last season, what we had was a 4-3-3 that got found out as soon as we lost Jared Bowen and Kamil Grzycki. Now this season, when we play a few more games, we start off well. When we play a few more games, as I was going on to say, that system gets found out. The problem is, that is Grant McCann's only system. So once that gets found out, that is going to get found out by every team in the league, because they will know how to nullify the threats of our 4-3-3. Against Shrewsbury, he brought on Keane Lewis-Potter and Tom Eaves. For Richie Smallwood and Hakeem Adelakan. Now, you think there, you've got Honeyman and Doherty in the midfield, you've got your back four, You've got those two left in midfield. You've got two wingers, two strikers. To any normal, well, to just any fan, you've got to think 4-4-2. But no, Grant McCann puts Keane Lewis-Potter at central attacking midfield in the number 10 role, puts Josh McGuinness left wing. And it does make you think, how tactically inept do you have to be to do that? Now then, I'm just going to touch on the Keane Lewis-Potter situation going on at the club at the minute. Keane Lewis-Potter is one of our best young players. He is the star of tomorrow in our attack. And if I'm honest, he's our best attacking threat now. Now, Keane Lewis-Potter has been in contract talks with the club for a little while. These were very close to happening about late October time. Since then, it's been silence from the manager. And Keane Lewis-Potter, he was off because of some COVID tests. Since he's come back from his period of isolation, he did test negative. Since he's come back from his period of isolation, he hasn't played. He hasn't started, sorry. Now, if you take a deluge into Keane Lewis-Potter's current contract, obviously this is all confidential, this is all rumours, but he reportedly has a clause in his contract where if he starts X amount of games, he will get a bonus, a pay rise, a cash bonus or something like that. It might be a pay rise, might be a lump sum of money. Now obviously, because our owners are just absolute twonks, they don't want to pay it. So, Lewis-Potter isn't playing. And financially, his new contract is all sorted. It is just a case of the club want further commitment from Lewis-Potter. The club want to put an extra year on the deal than Keane does. So, obviously, this is going to cause a little bit of back and forth in the talks. And how does this look from my perspective? Quite simply, he's our best player. Play him and grow a pair of and pay him the money. Play and pay. Simple. That's simple. Grant, I don't care if you upset the owners by doing it. Just play him. Just play him. Right, guys. Another thing here, just adding to this. Something here from an Instagram account called HCAFC Daily. Good mates with them. There's a link in the description. They've said, also the reason McCann has the job is because he's Ehab's yes man. Anyone else would have walked away from the situation Ehab is putting Grant McCann in. If I'm honest, I find it hard to disagree. I do find it really, really hard to disagree with that. Just play him. Because not only are you hindering him by not playing him, you're hindering his developing career because this is the level that he's proven he can shine at. But you're hindering the team as well. You're hindering the team as well by not playing him. Simple as. Now, in terms of balancing out this argument then, should he stay or should he go? Based on last season, he should go. But however, if you give any Hull City fan the option, on the day we got relegated against Cardiff after the game, if you say, the week before Christmas, we will be top, what would people say? Would people say yes? Or would they say no? 100% of Hull City fans would snap your arm off. If you're offering, look, here, top of the league, week before Christmas, your arm, you're losing an arm, they'd snap it off. We would snap it off so hard. But the reason the disgruntlement has come up. You hear the argument, oh, why are you wanting the manager out? We were top of the league. Because last season, on January the 1st, 2020, we were fighting for playoffs in the Championship. We got relegated. Now this year, it's the manner which we've lost these last 2 games at the time of recording, which has angered the fan base. It's little things like how we're dominating, but teams find us out, so McCann reacts by not changing his system. It's the things like playing Keane Lewis Potter. He said that he doesn't want players who don't want to be here to play. Did that with Marcus Henriksen. He was our captain the season before Grant McCann joined. He froze him out instantly because Henriksen had his contract expiring and was saying, look, I'm open to a move elsewhere, but I'm also committed to this club while I'm here. So McCann said, oh, stuff you, go elsewhere. Leo da Silva, however, someone who Grant McCann has coached for years, when he wants to leave, he says, oh yeah, I understand that Leo wants to leave, but he's like my 4th son, so I'm going to play him whether he wants to play or not. You what, mate? You what? You've literally said last season that you didn't want to play our former captain, who you took the armband off and was very, very much worthy of that armband. You didn't play him because he was looking at options. Oh my God. Anyway, I rest my case. Should McCann be sacked? At this point, currently, no. But if we slip out of the playoff places, then this argument will only get stronger. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.